Educational Beanstalk Leaders. This is April coming at you for week 3 of our Classroom Chronicles. So we will be focusing now, again, moving into our calendar for September, the unit being Who Am I and What is My School Community? We'll be going into week 3, and the activity that I will be demoing and speaking about for this week is the How Can I Be a Good Classroom Friend sign creation. So even though we are in early childhood and many of our programs have been spanning throughout the whole entire year, it's always nice to set good classroom and behavioral norms as a learning community with your children and reinforcing those consistently throughout the school year. So the sheet that you all will be using that aligns with this activity was sent to you through Brookie, and it's for September 17th, and it talks specifically about creating a classroom sign of what it means to be a good friend that you can then display in your classroom for your children and for your parents and just for each other to set norms of what it means to be a good learning member in your classroom community. So some of the different norms that are laid out in this sign that was sent to you is, how can I be a good friend, and you're creating a classroom sign. Some of the things to teach children or giving them tips of what it means to be a good classroom friend is what it means to play together, showing care, love and kindness, forgiveness. And then what you do is you write each child's name on one of the different rectangles as an agreement that we are all doing this together, and you can post it somewhere in your classroom to reference throughout the rest of the school year. Now, a couple things that I think about immediately is, okay, we can say these things to our children: play together nicely, care for one another, love each other, be kind and forgiving. But in early childhood, words are one thing, but they need to know what it feels like, what it looks like, what it sounds like. And so how do we make this come to life even more? And one thing that I would recommend you all do to strengthen this lesson is a couple of things. Role playing and dramatic play with toys. So children get to see what are these different scenarios of what kindness looks like, what playing together well looks like. So you can do something on in your dramatic play station, or even during circle time, where you can do a little role play with two maybe stuffed animal friends, and they're showing each other how to be good friends, maybe walking together across the street. You can play with them sharing classroom materials, giving each other a hug when one of them's sad. This type of situation of role playing with toys and having children maybe play it out with you where they take one of the toys or another, or maybe you can come up with a scenario where, oh, our monkey friend is sad. Joseph, what would you do for Monkey when he's sad to be a good friend? And maybe you can pass the monkey around during circle time. The children give the monkey a little hug to be a good friend. So it's not enough to just have these words speak for themselves in early childhood. We're really teaching children what it means for them, what it looks like, and how they can interact with each other. And before we do that, things such as toys could be a great way to make this lesson come to life. Now, one thing that you could do thinking about your classroom sign to strengthen it is, yes, you could write each child's name on one of the rectangles. You could help guide them write their name on the different rectangles where you're guiding their hands with a crayon or writing utensil. Also with toddlers, I've seen this in some of your centers where you're not doing letter recognition just yet. You can maybe have like a handprint or a fingerprint, and you put each child's fingerprint or handprint on one of the rectangles, and you write the name next to it, and you can post this on your bulletin board. A couple other things to keep in mind when strengthening the lesson of being a good friend is you reinforce this theme throughout the day. So the learning around good friendship is not just happening in that little block. You're talking about it consistently throughout the day. What does it look like to me and a good friend at the during snacks or during circle time? One person speaking, the rest listen. You are reinforcing this throughout the day. Also during circle time, making sure that time is also connected with the theme of the day. So maybe during circle time that morning, each child can name a good friend. or something like that. I hope this is helpful, and I will see you all soon.